Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Just don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacist and
right. Who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacist and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just...
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
And I'm Mujahed Brinson Taylor Kobbe.
Oh, Branson Taylor, what's good? Habibi, Habibis.
Man, from last night, I'm still recovering. I think I drank way too much on Twitch.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm so glad you're still drunk.
Oh God, I just chugged it. I just chugged some pre-workout and I'm still having some a latte.
I'm having myself a little green tea because I'm just that I'm that washed right now. Literally, we were talking about it right before going on the air. Like, I feel blind going into this episode because I miss like all the major news stories of the day and and of the week, and like it's just constantly drinking from a fire hose.
Fire hose that's connected to bleach.
Hell yeah! Give me that Clorox, baby. Yeah,
Clorox. Yeah.
Well, settle in, Habibis. We got a great show for you. We're gonna start off with a little. Wait, what is that? Neville on tap. What the fuck? Oh my God, it's Neville. Neville Doyley. What are you doing here?
Yes, my Daddy? Son, I have come. I have arrived, my son. I am here.
Neville, where have you been? We missed you.
Amazing.
Well, I've been traveling, honestly. I've been doing stuff, looking for work, traveling, reading, studying, doing a bunch of stuff, just not being on Twitter. So
have you been reading Quran?
No, but I read something. I guess it's not close to the Quran. I read the Looming Tower, which was pretty good. So that's that's a pretty good book. I thought it was very interesting. So I read that book while I was on Twitter hiatus here. I'm also watching the Heat game in the background here. So if I keep looking up, that's what I'm doing.
No, it's all good. Because we're a bunch of basketball Habibis, except for Jay, who's a piece of shit. And watches only watches soccer.
You're wearing your fucking Arsenal shirt right now, you piece of shit.
Yeah, but I watch most sports, whereas you just watch soccer. You got to diversify.
Yeah, diversify, man. I thought I taught you that much in the hospital.
Hockey right now. I'm getting into hockey right now, trying to get back into American football, but it's just not working.
Well, the first thing we got to talk about.
That's a shame.
Yeah, no, it's a shame. Well, Neville, while we have you here, first of all, the presidential debate happened last night. Very first presidential debate between President Trump and Vice President Joe Biden. It was a nasty affair. I don't know how else you can describe it because it was just downright insane. Because first of all, first question to you, Neville, did you even watch it?
Okay, so let me explain. I plan to. I desperately plan to watch it. Okay, because the debate is what got me to reactivate my Twitter account. Right, so I said I'm going to reactivate my Twitter account, get on there, and do my usual thing when debate comes on. I do my little, commentary, and people, talk back and forth with people about what's going on. And I started the first 10 minutes, and I started watching that thing the first 10 minutes, and I got so fed up. I said, I can't do this. I'm gone. I just left. I just turned it. I watched. I forgot what I was watching. I must have watched The Boys or something like that. I just turned on The Boys or something. I couldn't watch that. I was like, man,
I hear that's a good show.
That is an excellent show, by the way. Everybody should watch that show. But it's
season 2.
Yeah.
Hold on. What about the girls?
There's girls in there too.
You fucking sexist.
This is the Habibis. They're women.
I didn't name the show.
And gone.
I didn't name the show, so can't blame me.
Yeah, no. I'm saying that the people who named the show, they're a bunch of sexists naming it the boys.
Probably. They're Hollywood elitists, so yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
But
that's the way that they are.
I tried, like I said, I tried, and I just couldn't do it.
I think that's what makes you a winner out of the debates last night. Not watching it, turning it off after 10 minutes.
But from what I've just listening to some podcasts and reading some analysis about it, this Trump was his usual self and Joe Biden was his usual self. So Trump was just maybe a little bit higher than usual. So I'm maybe I don't know, it's just a little more vociferous, if you want to say. So he's just a little bit more more Trumpy, if you can actually do that. I'm not really sure you can.
It was I think it was peak Trump, and I don't know what his strategy was other than to completely throw Biden off of his game. And I think if there was one clip that really sort of set the tone, I believe it was this. I got it right here.
If Senate Republicans go ahead and confirm Justice Barrett, there has been talk about ending the filibuster or even packing the court, adding to the 9 justices there. You call this a distraction by the president, but in fact, it wasn't brought up by the president. It was brought up by some of your Democratic colleagues in the Congress. So my question to you is, you have refused in the past to talk about it. Are you willing to tell the American people tonight whether or not you will support either ending the filibuster or packing the court?
Whatever position I take on that, that'll become the issue. The issue is the American people should speak. You should go out and vote. You're in voting now. Vote and let your senators know how strongly you feel. Vote now.
Are you gonna pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator. I'm not going to answer the question.
Why wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question is
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
Gentlemen, I think
this
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the court.
We have
not going to give a list.
We have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the.
Okay, so I feel like that was what opened the floodgates right there, is saying, well, you shut up, man. And I saw some people being like, oh no, Biden took the bait. Like he let Trump get to him. Do you think it was a bad look for Biden?
I don't think so personally. I think I don't think, and look at it this way. Biden told him to shut up and called him a clown, called him a racist. Mm-hmm. That stuff in a regular debate, let's say that was Mitt Romney and Obama, like in 2012 or 2011, and that happened, and to say Obama called Romney that, it would be a huge story.
Yeah.
But just because who Trump is, that's like Biden's that's nothing compared to like what Trump does. So I mean, it's like it doesn't
and like the buried lead, Jay, is the fact that the question was about court packing and Biden completely dodged it. Like that is a big deal when talking about the Supreme Court. Democrats have been making this threat that if President Trump fills Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat before the election and Democrats take the White House and the Senate, they're going to add more justices to the Supreme Court and tilt the court back to a liberal lean.
Right. And if Trump just let him answer, which he was just going to completely dodge the question, not answer it, that would have been the story for it. The story would have been Biden dodges the question again, will not answer the question about court packing. But instead, what we're getting is, how could he answer a question when Trump doesn't let him answer anything or didn't even let him speak? And that's what's going to be the what's it called? The narration of what happened at the debate.
Yeah. Here's what's going on. Well, how I see it, just from listening to certain people talk about it. It's like Trump had a mission to go in there and he has set the bar so low for Biden, okay, that Biden only has to just like sound just like a normal person to jump over that bar. Mm. But Trump, even when Biden's trying to step on himself and talk, make himself sound like the age that he is, Trump wouldn't even let it. Trump just saved him. Trump, as usual, Trump is his own worst enemy. Okay, all he had to do is go up there, make Biden answer tough questions, to be quiet, let Biden drown himself. And Trump couldn't do it. His ego is that big that he couldn't do it. He couldn't just sit back and let Biden drown himself or hang himself, however that metaphor goes. And all the time, every time Biden's trying to speak, Trump is just talking over. And even though Biden's just saying gibberish, but nobody can hear him saying gibberish because Trump is just interrupting him. So, I mean, like as usual, Trump is his own worst enemy. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I agree that Trump is his own worst enemy, but I feel like, we didn't really get any substantive out of this debate. And I feel like that might have been the strategy there, was to make sure that if Trump was going to beat Biden in a debate, it was going to be by throwing him off of his game and making him look as unpresidential as possible. So that when people look at the differences between Trump and Biden, and people have been accusing Trump of being unpresidential, but yet they get all these sound bites from Biden saying, shut up, man. And like, this guy's a clown and all that sort of stuff. Like, do you really think that that's like the strategy that he went in with? Or is it something like, he was just Trump. He was just doing it because he likes to do that stuff. Neville.
Oh, sorry. I would say, I think the strategy, if you look at it the way you would look at these debates, Trump is behind. Okay, however you want to put it, he's behind. He's running behind, and he's not even as close as he was to Hillary. Okay, so he's way behind. He's a good deal behind. All right, so and he, like I said before, he lowered the bar. He made the bar so low for Biden that Biden only has to be able to walk him to the podium to clear that bar. And by the looks of what had happened yesterday, just by the reviews and just listening to everybody else, Biden cleared the bar somewhat, but Trump didn't land enough hits on him to close the gap. Because if Trump is trailing and he's the president, Trump is trailing, he has to do something to make sure he can bring himself closer. And he did not do that last night, as far as I can tell. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole debate, but I don't see that he did that in any way to close.
Here's where I push back, because I think one of the things I saw was that people who were watching the debate were generally annoyed by it, and if anything, were dissuaded into voting for either candidate. And I feel like that was subtly the goal, to get to remove that contrast between Trump and Biden, and create it so that it energizes Trump's base, and the people who are going to vote against Trump, or were on the fence and had some animosity towards Trump, I feel like they were probably dissuaded by it. But Jay, in your view, do you think this debate changed many people's minds?
No, I don't. I really don't. I think the people who are going to be voting for Trump will stay voting for Trump. People who don't want to vote for Trump are not going to vote for Trump.
Yeah, but are they going to vote for Biden, though?
A lot of the people were not going to vote for Biden to begin with. I think the people who are dead set to not vote for Trump are going to vote for Biden. Yeah. People are dead set on it. And those are the ones who wanted to vote third party or Bernie Bros or whatever. You're going to have a lot more people voting for Biden as a referendum vote against Trump, compared to voting third party because they didn't like anyone, because they're exhausted. They don't want to make the same mistake they did last time. Yeah. I think what would have helped Trump better is if he was, instead of being bullish like he was in the first debate with Hillary, if he was a little bit more trying to throw zingers and jokes and joking around and stuff like that, instead of trying to be aggressively like the bully.
Billy Finn, thank you, Billy. He says, basically any other elected Republican debating in Trump's place lands numerous kill shots. That was such an easy debate, and he blew it royally. Interesting. I actually want to bring up a few clips because I was screaming because of some of the insults Trump landed on Biden. Here are a couple.
February, and he didn't even tell you. He's on record as saying it. He panicked, or he just looked at the stock market. One of the two, because guess what? A lot of people died, and a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
So, Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years, you've done nothing.
Let's have this debate.
And if you would have had, let me just tell you something.
There's nothing smart about you, Joe. That he really said that shit. That's hysterical. Like,
that's tame for Trump, actually.
This is I mean, I know it's tame for Trump, but like, for some reason, I feel like insulting someone's intelligence, just in my view, because like, that is like maybe instead, like it's just like beneath like going after someone's family or going after their disability or something like that, something they can't control. Like that is that's like the max you can go with. Maybe saying someone's incompetent, I don't know, but saying there's nothing smart about you, Joe, like that is that's spicy right there.
It is. And I think that is where Trump would have been better if he stayed there. And that, like, because he's like, there's nothing smart about you. And 47 years, we have nothing from you, nothing to show from it. Instead of, I mean, there are some legitimate things he could have said the way he says things in order to really hit Biden and really get him. But the whole time, he did that once or twice during the debate, to be honest, like those type of insults and those type of zingers. And the rest of it was, I mean, you get like 5 words out of Biden before he starts looking at the screen and going like this. And every time he's doing this, I think he wants to come out and touch Siraj's pee-pee. Just like, Siraj, I want.
All he had to do is let Biden speak. Let Biden speak. I mean,
let Biden speak and let him touch my pee-pee.
And let him touch Siraj's pee-pee.
That would have been wild. But yeah, I mean, Jay, I think you and I have a similar favorite moment, and because Neville, you only lasted 10 minutes. I'm gonna just play my favorite moment from the debate.
You paid millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you, Chris. Let me just tell you something. That it was the
Habibis, it's happening. We fucking got him.
Yeah, Biden
fucking got him. And I am going to show you how bad we got him. Where is it? Where is that shit? Where is it? Come on. Boom, baby. Alhamdulillah, we got him.
Alhamdulillah. No, if he actually did that, he would win 52 states easily. Grow that beard
52
out.
states?
57 states, bro.
57
we got
states.
69 states.
Yeah,
nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
I just love the way he said inshallah too. It's so fucking white and Midwestern. It's insane.
Okay, but there was a particularly bad moment, and this was for President Trump. And this is in relation to Chris Wallace asking him to condemn white supremacy. Let me play the clip.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared to specifically
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
FBI director
This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what his FBI, FBI director said.
Well,
okay, so that was not. I don't know why Trump couldn't just say, "Yeah, fuck white supremacists." Like they're not part of our campaign. But there was almost the immediate backlash from the right that they were trotting out every single time that Trump did denounce white supremacy, which he has. But like what's stopping you from condemning them on national TV during a debate that a healthy, a significant percentage of Americans and people around the world are watching? It just sort of boggles my mind. I mean, and we even have Tim Scott, the senator from South Carolina, the first Black Republican to be elected to the Senate in South Carolina. They essentially.
You sound disappointed.
No, I sound disappointed.
No. Tim Scott did when I heard.
Oh, Tim Scott. Yeah, no, I was. I'm trying to pull up the quote here because it's escaping me. But he said, "Where is it? It's now fucking escaping me. Where is it?" God
no,
damn it.
he said that he thinks he misspoke, and
he said if he doesn't correct it,
if he doesn't correct it, then he didn't misspeak.
Yeah.
But I mean, to push back a little bit on it is when he was like, "Do you condemn white supremacy?" He's like, "Sure, just give me a name, and whatever." But
but like that's, I mean, like just give me a name. Like it's the idea, it's the concept, the movement.
White supremacy, I condemn wholeheartedly, but the violence we're seeing is mainly from the left. That's the best way he could have said it.
I think
he fucked up just a little bit from Biden, and he completely fucked up.
I feel like he could have done it unequivocally without adding any level of what about.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, there's no reason to what about white supremacy. I mean, we all know the history, what's going on in this country, and the Jim Crow and slavery and all types of whatever. And there's no reason to what about it. You don't have to say Antifa, but Antifa. You just say white supremacists are bad. And if you'll notice, they didn't ask. Reporters never asked this question of George W. Bush or Mitt Romney to condemn white supremacists. They never asked them that. You know why? Because white supremacists weren't excited about them, and they didn't think they had a fellow bigot in the White House. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's I've always thought Trump was a bigot. I don't think he's a white supremacist. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a difference between a white supremacist and a bigot. But Trump is definitely a bigot to me. I mean, I understand. I see why he can't do it. I know one reason he can't do it because he's a person that anybody that's a fan of him, he doesn't want to put him down.
Yeah.
So anybody that likes him, that says nice stuff about him, he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to offend them because they say nice stuff about him.
But he has said the words, "I condemn white supremacy."
Yeah. Of course he has. But I mean, but you know when somebody really says it and when they says it and when they're really saying it. I mean, you can tell. I mean,
he doesn't with it.
Yeah, he doesn't
would have been a really saying it moment.
Exactly. That's what he should have said. He says it, but he when he reads it off a teleprompter or something like that, but he doesn't really put his heart behind it. And everybody knows this. I mean, anybody that's a serious thinker, a serious person can tell you that Trump doesn't really condemn it in the ways that I say Tim Scott would condemn it. Okay. Yeah. Or even Marco Rubio or anybody else would condemn it. He doesn't do it. And everybody can see it. They don't want to admit it because it might say something about them, and it is what it is.
Sarah Jacobs, thank you, Sarah. She says, if Trump disavows white supremacy, Chris Wallace, the moderator, can say, you're finally for the first time condemning it. Yeah, I see that side too as well. And that it's almost never enough for Trump to condemn white supremacy. But it's those things where he's like, if he acts wishy-washy.
Yeah, it's all right. If from first time they've asked him from like way back in Charlottesville days, if he had really just came down and put his foot down on the white supremacist's neck, the people would stop asking him about it.
I don't think they would.
I think they would, yes, because if he did it when he with some vigor, like he really meant it from the bottom of his heart.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Like he was disgusted that you'd even say that to him. People would stop asking him about it, but he doesn't do it. So people keep asking him. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. So another aspect of that whole thing was the Antifa stuff. So that was Biden said that Antifa is an idea. And it's
which is idiotic. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not an idea. Jane Stiles says, thank you, Jane. If Trump had done an hour of actual prep, it would have made a world of difference. Probably. Bean Dude 99, Nate BB, thank you. Cutting off mics won't work. They need the trapdoor above a tank of sharks with freaking laser beams coming out of their heads. Yeah, that's the Commission of Presidential Debates starting to revise or restructure the remaining debates, and one of the things that they're going to do is cut off people's mics.
You got to do something, because that's embarrassing. I mean, them just talking over each other like that is embarrassing. I mean, at least let them answer the question, then you can start talking over each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but getting
2 minutes
go ahead.
Uninterrupted, and then it would be you have 2 minutes, so the other mic is muted, and then after your 2 minutes is done, you got 1 minute rebuttal between each other, and then you cut the other mic for 2 minutes for another question, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's very simple.
I feel like almost though
button to the moderator, that would be a little bit. I think that would be too. If it's
the moderator can't do it, because then he's going to be like, somebody's going to. They're already complaining about Chris Wallace, and so I mean,
right?
I mean, when you look at Chris Wallace's job, how do you think he did?
I mean, what can you do in that situation? Honestly, I mean, they're just
walk
talking
off
to each other.
the
What are you
stage.
going to do? Yeah, exactly. Walk off the stage, basically. Just quit and say, I can't do this. I'm out of here. Forget it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I moderated the debate, but that's because the Commission on Presidential Debates is Islamophobic and never thought of me. So,
right.
Anyway. You can't disrespect the president. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, Mr. President, would you shut the hell up so I can answer, so Joe Biden can answer a question, or, you can't really do that. So,
Yeah. I mean, interesting. I mean, I think it's interesting that of one of the biggest blows that Trump used on Biden was hitting him for the 1994 crime bill, which Biden sponsored as a senator. And that's something that the left has been hitting Biden on for some time. Yet it feels like it's lost its sort of impact because of Biden being hit on this for some time.
It's also
weird. Oh
yeah, it's also hard to hit him on that crime bill and then say he's not
part of Antifa.
Crime at the same. Yeah, he's part of Antifa.
He's part of Antifa.
It's hard to have it both ways, So
it is tough. It's a tough thing, a tough attack to make. And having Kamala Harris, who is an actual cop, albeit a very leftist cop now, be part of that campaign. But I want to get to one more story before we let you go, Neville. But and this is on Brad Parscale. He was the Trump campaign manager in 2020, and he is now leaving the campaign to focus on his family as well as his mental health. And this was from a little earlier, in which he said that he was he described being under overwhelming stress, and his wife Candy Parscale, while initially alleging some level of domestic violence or abuse, she now says that her apparent allegations were misconstrued, and it was interesting. And I'm going to play this clip because this is just kind of odd. If you saw the video from the cops who are surrounding him, this is from the body cam. Let me play that.
Don't act this. I'm not doing anything. Relax. What happened? So, she started saying all this shit. Hey, get on the ground, man. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground, man. Oh, Jesus. Get on the ground. What do you say? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Hands behind back. Put your hands behind back. Hey, we'll figure it all out, all right? Don't worry about it. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. We're going to get you off the ground in just a second, okay? Okay? You're all right. Relax. On this side. Here you go. Do you have any weapons on you or anything like that? No, wait, I didn't have any weapons. I didn't do anything. We're going to get you off the ground, boys. Bring your knees. Okay. You're okay. Ready? Help us out. We're going to pick you up, all right? One is your leg. Okay, yes, I'll get up. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, good. I didn't do anything.
Okay, so that was from this past weekend, and it was initially reported as Brad Parscale like barricaded himself in his home and threatened to harm himself and had like a bunch of loaded handguns. And then it was weird because, of course, like people on the left were like shitting on Brad Parscale and not like, they were sort of saying, diminishing the impact of mental health. And then this whole thing about these allegations of domestic violence came out, and then the wife is Candy Parscale is sort of walking that back. But I mean, like, this is all just so weird. And I think the video, the reason I played that is because this dude Torre, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He tweeted out something, and let me try to pull it up. But he tweeted something along the lines of like addressing it to Black Twitter, saying, Black Twitter, what was more satisfying to watch, Brad Parscale get tackled by the police, or that white woman getting tased by police for not wearing a mask at a football game? And it's like, it's still fucking state violence. I mean, like, even if you don't like the person's politics, like, sure, yeah, that shit might be way over the top. Although I will say, Parscale did not comply with police officers when they told him to get on the ground. So I feel like they had to tackle him. But like, who takes pleasure in that shit?
No, I mean, status. So that's basically
right.
It's garbage.
Yeah, to me that looked like the overwhelming force to me. I mean, I couldn't hear the video, but it looks like too much force for a guy that's just out there in typical Florida man. Like he's drinking a beer and on a Sunday or something like that, but doesn't look like any kind of threat. So
no shirt. Like it didn't have
no shirt. He's got some some
look like Jay half the
trunks
time.
on. Yeah,
if Jay were just a little bit whiter and much taller than 5'3".
5'4", you son of a bitch.
I feel like that would have been Jay.
I didn't get the
I have
height
to apologize
from
for
Neville.
I'll have to apologize for Jay not getting my height. I mean, I'm almost a whole foot taller than he is. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, man.
It's all good.
Well,
I mean, I got this camera. It makes me look taller than I really am. I'm on a booster chair.
Well, Neville, before we let you go, how has it been being off of Twitter?
Well, it's been fine. I mean, it's been fun. I mean, I was actually getting used to not checking it every few seconds. You get that with your phone. You're walking around, you're just like checking, see what's going on. The only thing I miss talking to some of the people on there that I like. But I miss getting the news, because you can always get the news really quick from Twitter. If something's going on, something happening, you always get it like really updated. So I miss that part. But I don't, I'm like trying to get back into it, and I'm not really feeling it yet. So I'm sure I'll get back into it in a few days, but I'm just not really back there yet. So I don't want to leave Twitter, but I'm trying to get myself not to be as frequent a guest on there. Frequent a guest on there as I need to. I need to spend more time doing other more productive things and arguing with people about how much I hate Trump or whatever. So or defending myself because supposedly I'm having people question if I'm a conservative because I don't like Trump. So I get tired of doing that too. So it's like more productive things you can be doing with your day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Neville, you now have a new Twitter handle, right? What is it? Formerly CBM.
Formerly CBM. I changed it because I didn't want to be. Just to be honest with you, I didn't want to be classed as a conservative anymore before anybody knew anything about me because my name was Conservative Black Man. And as soon as you see that name,
Jay's dad.
I could do that too. Jay's dad, that would work, but I don't want everybody to know that. I'm trying to keep that on the down low. But so I wanted to get that out of there. So the first thing people see is not conservative, because that name used to. When you had conservative, like when I first started Twitter, like in 2012, I mean, conservative wasn't like a bad word. You know what I mean? Now it's basically a bad word. It's basically what we did. The liberalism conservatives made liberal a bad word, so they changed it to progressive. You know what I mean?
Right.
So conservative is now like a bad word. Basically, it's like nobody respects it anymore. So I'm just like I don't want to be classed as that anymore. I don't want to be classed with certain people. So I'm just going to go my own way, and I'm still a conservative. I still believe in everything I believed before, but I just don't want to be thrown in with a certain lot of people. So I said, let me change that and get that out of there, and just use my regular name and all kind of stuff.
Mm.
Right.
Well, Jay, you have anything you want to say to your dad before you let him watch the rest of the NBA?
Did you get the
finals?
milk? Did you get the milk, Jay? Oh man, still ain't got the milk. Man. It's on the way, man. It must be on. I think it's on Pony Express.
You said that like 20 years ago.
It's on the Pony. It's on the Pony Express. I might get there, maybe sometime in December or before Christmas, maybe. Oh, I forgot you don't celebrate Christmas. Forget it.
You heathen.
Inshallah, we'll get here before Christmas.
All right, Neville Doyle, thank you so much for joining us for Habibi Power Hour. It's been a pleasure having you back. You're our first convert and probably our last one as well, too.
I'm gonna go get on my prayer rug now, so I'll be seeing you guys.
Inshallah.
Go for it.
Thank you. See you.
Okay, see you. Oh, that was Neville Doyle right there. Always a pleasure having the Habibi on. Before we get into the rest of the news this week, today, September 30th, final day of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And today in particular, tonight, midnight is the expiration or the deadline of the Creating Hope Act. This bill establishes an incentive for drugs to be developed expressively for children with rare diseases, including cancer. This program is responsible for developing over 24 drugs for pediatric rare diseases, including cancer. The Gabriella Miller Kids First 2.0, the bill that will expand funding for childhood diseases by redirecting monetary penalties leveled against pharmaceutical manufacturers towards valuable research. That's what's currently on the table. But of course, with Congress not doing shit, there's not really anything we can do besides calling our representatives. But there's been I don't have TikTok, but there is Jay, I don't know. Did you get that? Did you get this?
No, I did. I'll be tweeting it out. It's
okay. For Isabella Henderson from Collinsville, Oklahoma. We were trying to get Bruno Mars to, reach out to her, send a shout out to her, because she's currently going through it right now. And I can't get into much details. I'll let Jay's Twitter do that. And you guys, when you see it, go ahead and hit that retweet button. Let's try to get it up to Bruno Mars's people. I don't have any connection to Bruno Mars, even though all three of us. I mean, I thought being this white would have made it happen, but
shocked right now.
Yeah. But yeah, go to Foursquare.
Why have I been sucking your dick all this time?
I'm trying to do a fucking childhood cancer PSA, and you're talking about sucking dick.
Sometimes I can't help myself.
Jay, you're going to hell.
Right, the first one down there.
Your mother is watching.
Mom, you raised a whore.
Jesus Christ.
This is what happens when you don't have a father around.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I hate you so much. You're the worst. Anyways, we're definitely going to hell.
It's absolutely
It's so bad. Anyways, God, I hate you so much.
Oh, my mom just said that the Creating Hope Act passed in the House today, and now they're just waiting for the Senate.
That's good to hear. There we go. Mary Lanette. Creating Hope Act passing the House today, waiting for the Senate, as Jay just said. So everything I said was moot. Wow, if only Mary gave us that update before going on the air, and now I don't look like such a dumbass.
It might have been important.
Well,
I think she just wanted to make us look stupid. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Jesus. Go clean your room.
Now she understands why I miss her first call and then I call her back later.
Wait, what? Oh, no. You mean like you just
like she calls, I just let it ring and then I just call her back later.
Okay. So
I love you, Mom.
Love you too, Mom. I feel like I really feel bad because this, as we were saying before, going into this episode, there was just way too much news to cover, and I feel like we didn't really do a good job, or I felt like I didn't do a good job. Jay, you never do a good job. I feel like I didn't do a good job of really keeping myself on top of everything.
Wow, this is
I'm
how
just
you
so
treat the
busy.
talent. No, it's like we've been saying. Like, I mean, with everything that was going on, especially with the debate, I think the debate was just so draining that everything else was just like out of our minds, and we didn't want to go back and actually see anything from when I got fucked up last night, and then we did the post debate stream right afterwards. Like,
Oh yeah, you were hammered.
Oh man, I was done.
Hammered.
That was insane. It really
So
was.
bad.
But I think we were pretty caught up with some of the most important stuff that happened that week, though.
Yeah, well, the most important thing that is like a blip on the radar now is what happened on Saturday, and that was President Trump nominated Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court to fill Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat. And we all expected it. We knew it was going to happen. And that it garnered a lot of weird and over the top reactions from people on the left and right. But before we do that, Mary, thank you. She says, I love you more. I assume she's directing that to me and not to Jay.
Absolutely. I'm just one of the biggest disappointments in her life. It's okay, Mom. I get the messages.
Anyways, back to ACB. I'm trying to find some of the most over the top responses because I didn't have anything ready for tonight. I literally just pulled
your rights goodbye, women. They're gone.
Get them all goodbye.
They're gone.
You can't get them back. You're not getting those rights. You're not getting those rights again.
Nope. We're gonna rewrite the Constitution and be like every woman has to know how to make 5 sandwiches. They have to know how to make a burrito.
5 sandwiches.
They have to know how to make a pizza. They have to know how to make a hot dog. They have to know how to make pastrami on rye. And they have to know how to make turkey with mayo and a slice of American cheese. Those 5 sandwiches. And that's all they're allowed to learn. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Doesn't seem so bad.
It's over.
It's over, Habibis. It's over. Anyways, the reason that we bring up ACB is because we got some wild shit from Ibram Kendi over here. And the reason the photo is gone is because Jenny Beth Martin, who was originally tweeting it out. Now, she is the president of Tea Party Patriots. And then if you're not familiar with the Tea Party, conservative group, came up in the years of Obama. She tweeted out a photo of I'm gonna see if I can find it right here because I'm sure I took a screen grab. But it is essentially Jay.
100%. Sorry.
There you fucking go. Jesus Christ.
Fuck. It's like,
what the fuck?
I know. It's fucking insane.
Where is it?
It's fucking insane.
Here. Here's the photo.
There it is.
So here's the photo that Jenny Beth Martin tweeted out. It is a photo of, that's not even Amy Coney Barrett, if you could see it right there. That is her sister, Carrie Coney Urbanski. They all keep their maiden name. And then Matt, her husband, just Matt. But Jenny Beth Martin.
He went to Cornell.
What?
Matt, he went to Cornell. Look at him. You know he went to Cornell.
What? Why Cornell?
Cornell University. Huh?
Yeah, no, but why are you saying Cornell?
Because his name is Matt, and he looks like a very typical white guy. I mean, look at the polo.
But why fucking Cornell?
It's the whitest university name I know outside of like really Michigan and Yale and Stanford and Harvard.
I feel like
and UCLA and OSU and OU and
no, it's like it's like the whitest university.
What?
University of Vermont.
Damn.
That place is white as fuck, and also everybody's a stoner. So, but I could see where you think, you know, that Matt Urbanski, Carrie Coney's husband, went to Cornell. I guess the red shirt tipped you off. Anyways, the point of the matter is they thought that this was Amy Coney Barrett, and we're getting besides the point. As usual, we're getting besides the point. So this is what Ibrahim Kendi tweets out, because you just got to see it to believe how fucking stupid it is. And
the guy is. So
he wrote, now this is before Amy Coney Barrett was even officially nominated. This is so great. Thomas says, "What the fuck? I went to UVM." And his name is Thomas. And he's probably white.
Oh, shit.
And holy shit, it's just white people who are insecure about being around white people in the whitest state in the country. I'm telling you, UVM is the whitest university in the country. It's like, why didn't you go anywhere else? I'm glad I hit that on the mark right there. So Ibrahim Kendi, he quote tweets Jenny Beth Martin, who again posted the wrong photo. That wasn't Amy Coney Barrett, and this is what he writes. He says, some white colonizers, in scare quotes, adopted black children. They have, in scare quotes again, civilized these, scare quotes again, savage children in the superior ways. I forgot the scare quotes in the superior. So they civilized these savage children in the superior ways of white people, while using them as props in their lifelong pictures of denial, while cutting the biological parents of these children out of the picture of humanity. He then goes on to say, and whether this is Barrett or not is not the point. It is a belief too many white people have. If they have or adopt a child of color, then they can't be racist. I'm challenging the idea that white parents of kids of color are inherently, quote unquote, not racist. And the bots completely change what I'm saying to, quote, white parents of kids of color are inherently racist. These live and fake bots are good at their propaganda. Let's not argue with them. You can see the ratio just going out the fucking window here. I mean, the thing is, there is something to be said about how adopting a child of color doesn't automatically disqualify you from being a racist. There is something there. But what Ibrahim Kendi's main point is that he's highlighting how this has to be the case for Amy Coney Barrett and her husband. Like they only adopted them because they're trying to civilize these savage children in their superior ways, and that they're cutting out the biological parents of these children. And he doesn't have the backstory any more than I have the backstory on how they adopted these children. But they adopted these children from Haiti, and one of them, I believe one of them has special needs, and then the other one,
yes,
they adopted out after the what was it, the 2010 or 2011 Haiti earthquake that devastated the country and left so many orphans, so much destruction. And I'm surprised, like at that point, like you have to wonder if people don't attempt, is it racist to not adopt these children because you're white and they're black? Like, is that like, you're damned if you're racist if you do, racist if you don't. I'm like, he's gaslighting me, making me feel like I'm insane for even trying to rationalize what his argument is.
And that's the beauty of their argument. Like, critical racial theory is, if you're trying to argue with it logically, you're going to make yourself go crazy, because their argument itself is illogical. They don't put logic into it. And this idea of anti-racist and racist, and how you can be inherently racist and inherently anti-racist, and all this kind of bullshit gibberish, is just so they can have the ability to degrade you and put you into a put you into a category of being like morally inferior to them because they're anti-racist and they're the good guys and all this kind of stuff. I just see it as an excuse for people like Kendi to be racist against white people. And he makes $20,000 per 45-minute meeting. He just got $10 million from
Fairfax County, the county I live in. Holy shit.
Right.
Fairfax County gave him $20,000 and they can't answer for it.
Right.
It's and they don't even have enough money to pay the bills. It's fucking crazy.
It really is. It's fucking insane. And it's for a 45-minute stupid shit. And he's making this money. Has he adopted anyone from Haiti? Has he adopted any kids from, impoverished places to help him? Has he done any of this shit? No, he hasn't. And all he does is he calls his criticizers just racist. That's it. He doesn't even engage with anyone who is criticizing his shit. And the left eat this garbage up. Like the people on the left, libs and Democrats and stuff like that, eat this garbage up. They're sick. Anyone who follows this kind of crap, who actually gives this kind of shit the light of day, are just fucking dumb shits in my mind.
Okay, so Taylor, thank you, Taylor. She says, look up Ibram Kendi's original name. The grift is strong with this one. I pulled up his. Let's zoom in there. His birth name is Henry Rogers. I'm just finding out about that now.
That's fucking. Does that mean his parents were inherently racist for giving him a name like that?
Probably.
That's what it is.
Let's find out other people named. Is it Henry, like Henry Kissinger, the fucking war criminal? Or is he named after? Or is he named after Henry Cavill, Superman, who is basically a symbol for white supremacy? Oh my god!
I'm gonna steal that.
What?
Yeah, and tweet it.
What are you tweeting? You tweeting out my jokes now?
Rogers is a symbol of white supremacy.
Wow, and Jay
is inherently racist.
My fucking god! You see what I give this guy? Motherfucker!
Everybody retweet it.
Dwab Winkle, thank you, Dwab. I'm also in Fairfax and knew about wasting money on this nonsense. But what do you mean about Fairfax County public schools having funding issues? Here's what I mean. Let me pull up the story. Fairfax. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm. Who knows? Fairfax County, Ibram Kendi. See, you guys are going on a journey with us.
Yep.
Are we pulling up the Federalist? No, let's do Fox 5 DC, because people are going to be like, oh, they pull up the Federalist. They're discredited. They're right. They're.
Who funds the Federalist?
Who funds the Federalist?
Your mom with her blowjobs.
Whoa. My mom?
Not your mom. Your mom is a saint. Astaghfirullah.
She is a saint.
She's a saint. Bruce's mom.
Oh. Sarah Jacobs asked, did he convert? I don't know what he, critical race theory, I guess, is a religion to think about it. But anyways, back to Fairfax County School District. So they paid $20,000 for 1 hour. And let's see here. The district says it was a timely topic. Let me zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys.
Timely topic. God, these people are just fucking sick.
I'm zooming in on my actual screen, not on this. God damn it! It's really the worst at this. Come on, let's read together. It's like reading Rainbow, reading Habibi Rainbow. I don't want to see this Fox News app. Come on. This is what happens when you have a 2014 MacBook Pro. Everything just runs slow as shit.
Right, 2014. I'm running. Man, we gotta get this shit updated.
We got it bad. We got it real bad. We got real bad.
I want to jerk off. I mean Twitch together.
What? Yeah, jerk and Twitch together.
No.
Did you see that? This is off topic, but did you see that the United States is the world leading exporter of sperm?
Well, yeah. I mean,
and that Jay is the world's leading importer of sperm. Anyways,
open my throat and go straight in.
Back to Kendi. So apparently the district says it was a timely topic selected by the staff, but it comes at a time when people are scrambling for funds to address how to navigate distance learning and in-person learning for students. That's what I mean by funding issues, is that because of the coronavirus pandemic, they are stretched thin in terms of funding efforts to essentially...
Billy, shoot that shot, Billy.
Jay, you didn't fucking finish my sentence. Sorry. God damn
it. Billy's throwing that Arab money around, man.
I know, but can you fucking finish my sentence first, please?
I apologize. Let's go back to it.
Are you going to say it?
100%.
Thank you. Fucking now I lost my goddamn train of thought, Jay. What the fuck?
I apologize. Man, look, I'm just here trying to help a friend and another friend, get to doing the naughty and screaming inshallah and alhamdulillah to each other.
Let's go to that comment then. Billy Finn. Thank you, Billy. Says, How to Be an Anti-Infidel by Siraj X Hashmi. Also, I hope Rachel is having a wonderful day.
Oh shit! I love how he changed it to the Scrooge McDuck meme that they did for him.
Oh yeah,
was it Fuzzy or Mitch? One of the other guys did it for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Saudi money.
Boris Faraj says, "Hey, Boris is here. He didn't sleep through his alarm. He said Fox 5 canceled what Siraj was looking for because Fox always cancels Siraj." This is true. But I will say this: Fox 5 DC has been a reliable supporter of the Habibis. Jim Loke over there. Shout out to Jim. He's a good Habibi. He's probably not watching right now because he's working, but in any event, he's a good Habibi. Anyways, that's all I was meaning by the budget issues, is that they were, when you got all these kids, and it's not like Fairfax County is while Fairfax County is a very wealthy county, of course, it doesn't mean everybody is wealthy. So when you see all of these classrooms trying to go virtual by essentially having
100%.
There you go, fucking by having every family have access to internet, a laptop, like extra spare laptops, so like their kids have access. Yeah, a webcam, having access to that stuff. Like that's a lot of money. Like not everybody can afford that. And Fairfax County does have pockets where it's poor. I mean, not a Fairfax. I mean, like the DC area is by and large, it has like 3 of the wealthiest counties in the entire country. But that doesn't obviously mean that there isn't poverty also in the area. So it's just $20,000 for a fucking 45-minute speech. Like, holy shit, where can I get that money?
Right. Well, we need to start spreading Islam as a way to, wash the racism away from the United States. You have to listen to the Sunnah, to the surahs and the hadiths. And I think there's no better people to go up than you and me. We need to order some distachas, wear turbans, and get going. Inshallah. We can do it.
So,
but what do you think? What do you think of ACB? Do you think she's a good pick? Are you happy with that?
So, look, I've never been very passionate about the Supreme Court because here's the thing. If you're relying so much on the Supreme Court pick to figure out whether you have rights or not, I feel like at that point you've given the Supreme Court way too much power. And I think, and I think a lot of people agree with this, is that the court has just become way too politicized and has started legislating more so than it has defined, given definitive rulings on things. So when people were criticizing, say for example, Barrett on same-sex marriage, thinking that she wanted to have gays be stripped of their rights. Her disagreement with Obergefell v. Hodges, which is the landmark Supreme Court ruling, which essentially
100%
legalized same-sex marriage throughout the country. She was simply critiquing that the court's role is not to legislate. The court's role is to interpret the Constitution and find whether certain things within our legal system is constitutional or not. Amy Coney Barrett is an originalist and a textualist. She's like a female Antonin Scalia, which is also fitting because Scalia was one of the only Supreme Court justice she clerked for. The other judge she clerked for before him was Judge Lawrence Silberman, and he's on the appellate court. So the thing is, she doesn't say anything about whether she agrees with same-sex marriage or not. People are sort of just basing that off of her Catholic faith. But for Amy Coney Barrett, I've heard this critique a lot, and she's not alone in this, in that she simply disagreed with the court's decision because she felt it wasn't the court's place to make that sort of landmark ruling. Much like how a lot of just putting the aside of the morality of Roe v. Wade to the side for a moment, a lot of people thought that Roe v. Wade was also overreaching because it was giving constitutional protections to pregnant women who wanted to have abortions, and that became the law of the land rather than legislating, whether on the congressional level, on the federal level, or by the states on restrictions on abortion. And so that's currently the battle right now, is where's the line?
Right. And I think we need more originalists on it so they can actually have that line and be like, Congress and the Senate have to do their jobs and not just go all the way up and just rely on the Supreme Court to do it for them. And I think we have a problem more so that there's a breakdown within the branches in order to do and get things done properly, the right way, the way it's supposed to be. It's just too lazy.
Yeah. Dwab Winkle says Gorsuch's textualist argument to extend sex-based discrimination to include queer people was fairly compelling. I'm trying to remember the exact phrasing of his actual argument, because he ruled in the majority on that case, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's a lib." But I think it's perfectly fine. Like, I actually agree with that decision. That if it's based, if when it comes to, I think it was the 1964 Civil Rights Act that they were interpreting when it comes to transgender and queer-based people, that it was more in line with if you identify as, say, if you were born a man but you had a sex change operation and you started to identify as a woman, that at the same time you could be discriminated against for, say, loving someone within same sex. So that protection would extend towards that person.
Right.
So that I think Dwab actually followed up here. He said basically it would be impossible to define anti-LGBTQ practices without discriminating based on gender. Yeah, that's probably more in line of what I was thinking. But of course, you're quicker to the punch. Rachel Kaplan, thank you, Rachel. She says, I'm having a great day. Love to the Habibis. This is the Rachel that Billy Finn is shooting his shot for. What up, Billy?
You got this, Bill. I love it. I love it. We have
love
to
in the
be part of
comments.
the wedding.
Love in the comments. I saw a comment earlier from Billy Finn that I get very few notifications for a blue check mark. Let's just go to that so I can prove him wrong, because I get a shit ton of notifications. I just don't get a notification on every single thing, because some people actually use a quality filter, and that basically is me. That's essentially 100% me. So if we go over here, oh god damn it. I have the wrong. So I have 17 notifications right here, Billy. 8 messages. I have at least over 100 DMs I have not checked over the last week, because this past week was a week from hell. As soon as I got off Habibi Power Hour last week, I was so fucking exhausted.
Really? From the moment of last week, for your birthday, you were fucking exhausted on your
I was
birthday.
so tired, and my week didn't end there. I had to the next day I had to do hashing it out, and then the day after I had to do the balance with Jason Nichols, and then the day after I had to make a video and explainer of Amy Coney Barrett. So
right
here we go. Anyways, let's see before I forget, because I make sure. Oh, so one of the things. I mean, Jay, did you like the pick? Did you think it was a good pick?
Yes, I'm very much in line with the thought that we need more originalists on the Supreme Court, and we need to force the legislative process to go through the right process, and not just sit and rely on the Supreme Court to rule and create legislation. I think we need more power to the states, and I think Congress needs to stop being lazy as fuck and do their jobs properly. That's
so before, I just want to point out. I just want to point out one thing, because everybody's been going after Barrett for her Catholic faith. And I feel like they fail to recognize that because she is, her judicial philosophy is that of originalism and textualism, and the two are different. They're not exactly the same. Originalism is more the judicial philosophy of getting into the mind of what the framers intended when they wrote the Constitution. And textualism is specifically interpreting the text of the Constitution as written. So that includes the amendments that have been added to the Constitution since the country's founding, because obviously they're called amendments for a reason. You can amend them at any point in time, and basically people have been going after a Catholic faith thinking that she's going to impose her religion on her interpretation, or allow it to interfere on her interpretation of these these rulings that she's going to be making should she be confirmed to the Supreme Court, which is pretty much almost certainly going to happen. I mean, it's going to take like an act of God for her to not get on the Supreme Court, because they have the votes. But that being said, like, it seems almost contradictory, or at least silly or antithetical, to think that if you're a critic of ACB because she's an originalist and textualist, while also saying that she's going to impose her religious views on all of us, like that, you can't have it both ways. You have to have it. It's got to be one or the other. I mean, Antonin Scalia, another Catholic, and an originalist and textualist. It's not like he let his faith influence himself or influence his interpretation of the Constitution. Yeah. So anyways, Habibis, it is earn time. We are moving along here. 69 minutes. Nice. We're moving along here. We actually don't have that much longer, because we actually we have been drinking from the fire hose. So we got only a couple more stories, but I'm going to go get Earn right now. And Jay is going to read some comments. So I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, Fuzzy. Got drunk last night. Had a good time with your mama. 69. Fuzzy, we got to get together and just drink and see who gets off first. I mean, what? No, Cox, I did not get a hangover because Fuzzy Mom makes this really good breakfast burrito. Cancels out right away. Habibi gun. I own none. I own none here. Jane, honestly, I want to get a dog. I want to get a nice little dog. Not a little, like a medium-sized dog, but I don't know, maybe like a golden retriever poodle mix or something. Yes, Nate BB, my head is extra shiny because I didn't bring the lamp up here. I'm gonna do some new lighting to go around, so I only have one source light that's coming on my head, so it's really, really coming out strong. No, Billy, I am not an escaped Uyghur. Well, Todd Lee, I actually had cats everywhere I was growing up. Lebanon, UAE, here before I moved to the UAE. But now that since I moved back to the United States, like 5 or 6 years ago or something like that, I have not gotten any pet. Watkey, 10,000. Once 10,000 hits, it's over. I think I got like 400 followers left until it hits 10,000. I don't know why or what it is, but I think when you hit 10,000 followers, it's when Twitter actually, really starts to look into your account and see what it is and what's going on. And man, if Branson Taylor goes, it's going to be like the 12th or 13th one. And Mickey is outside smoking a cigarette. Well, I mean, you have to understand, Siraj has to, butter him up. He has to get him happy and satisfied.
He is. It's the little guy. Ernie, bud. Ernie. Chill, bud. Okay. What did I miss?
Our Sheikh Ern. I was just letting him know that you have to like butter up Ern, jerk him off a little bit before getting him down here. That's what's taking him so long.
I mean, true.
Right. Yeah. And we went over how I only have 400 followers left until the end, and
until the eventual ban.
History of my pets.
Inshallah. So the thing is, oh God, he would have joined us last night, except he did join us last night.
I think he did. I can't even remember, dude.
I can't remember. Whoa. Hold up.
So fucked up.
I just saw Siraj has a bald spot. Holy shit. It is not really a bald spot. It is at like a good part. There's a good part. It's not like anything's thinning. Oh, God. I can't even put this on.
We're going to be skinheads together soon.
I mean, I've shaved my head before, and I'm not gonna lie. I think I look good bald. So whatever.
Off topic a little bit. Are those Sony headphones?
I don't think so. Hold on there. Give me a sec, bud. No, they're Senal. Senal, like penal. Like penis.
Penis. No, I was just asking because I was going to get the similar looking Sony ones. That's why. Because these are going to go out soon, and I can't stream with these on Twitch either.
Yeah. Steve says, Siraj, you're 2 years younger than me, and I'm thinning, my friend. Yeah, I mean, my hair's thinning, but it's not like a bald spot. You know, shut the fuck up, everybody. I'm sensitive
Steve,
about this.
You look 12. What the fuck are you talking about?
Habibi Gun. I didn't think he would see my comment. I'm flustered, LOL. Don't worry, Habibi. Thomas says penal means jail. That's the white response in you. Tali 76 Siraj is as bald as the Sultan's concubine. What the fuck?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what he's talking about.
What?
I don't know. Sultan's.
Yeah, Wonder Kimmy says no. Keep the hair. Take hormones or whatever the hell if you need to. Wow. Janice says, "Yeah, fabulous hair. Don't let them gaslight you." I mean, there's nothing wrong with being bald, but they just, you know, I think the Habibis feel invested in me having hair, and would feel it's like, what's the best way? Whoa, Billy Finn. Siraj is basically George Costanza. Fuck out of here, Billy. You know what, Rachel? Dump his ass. Oh my God. Fuzzy coming through. A question for Jay. When you're washing your new Habibi Bros merch for the first time, along with your panties, you are taking the clothes off first, right? I swear you're shrinking every week.
Your mom
the only part
takes my clothes off with
the only thing that shrinks on Jay and it never grows back is his penis.
It's going quick.
Go quick. Boris, when Siraj leaned forward, I had to squint from the light shining off of the bald bit.
I know. I have the lighting all wrong. Once I install the LEDs and stuff like that, it's
talking about me.
Oh,
fucking idiot!
Sorry.
Habibi Gun. Habibi, when is my shirt coming? You might have to DM me, Habibi, because I don't. Maybe you messaged me about this before. I just can't. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Anyways, Face says, Siraj, stick with the hair. White boy hairstyles are your brand. Wow.
Whoa.
I should have just gone. I should have gone to UVM.
You should have. You would have fit right in.
Yeah. Crew Kid 52. Siraj, Serenity now. R.I.P. Jerry Stiller, the God. That dude was the man. Okay. Wonder Kimmy. Okay, no big deal. Siraj just looks great with hair. Jay looks great bald too, of course. You know, we'll stick with what we got. We'll stick with what works.
I just go with what Allah gave me.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. Inshallah. Okay, another big story that happened that we didn't get a chance to talk about, and I'm looking for it right now. This came from the New York Times, and we all thought it wasn't possible for Trump to. Oh, okay, it's not pulling up on my iPad, so I'm just gonna read it from my laptop if Ernie lets me. Oh, come on, Ernie, good boy. So, what am I doing here? Come on, guys. This is the time when I get flustered because I don't have the story right in front of me, and I feel like I just got to keep talking until I get it. But alas, here we are. So, New York Times dropped a supposed, or depending on how you view it, a bombshell.
Boom, boom,
boom. It either is a bombshell or it's not a bombshell. And what ended up happening was the New York Times found that Trump somehow he essentially paid Jay.
It's 100% $750 bucks.
$750 to the IRS. Why don't you ever finish my essentially 100%, Jay?
Sorry, I was just looking at fucking Fuzzy talking shit. I need to hide the chat. Sometimes I get distracted.
Yeah, you really do. You have worse ADHD than I do.
Bro, you have no idea. My parents didn't give a fuck about me growing up. I didn't get on these drugs like I needed to.
Yeah.
No,
Fuzzy says Jay needs a rug. Is that's what's setting you off? Is Jay needs a rug from Fuzzy?
Look, the only rug I like is the rug rash your mom gives me with her.
I thought you were gonna. You always struck me as a guy who liked to munch rug.
I mean, ass eating, munching rug. It's all the same thing.
It's all.
I mean, right when they bend over and they put it up in their eye. I mean, where are you going with it? You don't know.
Yeah. Anyways,
but 100%, this is not a bombshell story.
Hold on, but let me read a little bit from the story, just so Habibis who haven't been following it get an idea of what's actually happening. So Donald Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes the year he won the presidency. It's 2016, of course. In his first year in the White House, he paid another $750. He had paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years, largely because he reported losing much more money than he made. As the president wages a re-election campaign that polls say he is in danger of losing, his finances are under stress, beset by losses and hundreds of millions of dollars in debt coming due that he has personally guaranteed. Also hanging over him is a decade-long audit. Wow, I can't even speak English. Audit
he
battle.
Is under audit. Oh.
Yeah. Also hanging over him is a decade-long audit battle with the Internal Revenue Service over the legitimacy of a $72.9 million tax refund that he claimed and received after declaring huge losses. An adverse ruling could cost him more than $100 million. The tax returns that Mr. Trump has long fought to keep private tell a story fundamentally different from the one he has sold to the American public. His reports to the IRS portray a businessman who takes in hundreds of millions of dollars a year, yet racks up chronic losses that he aggressively employs to avoid paying taxes. Now, with his financial challenges mounting, the records show that he depends more and more on making money from businesses that put him in potential and often direct conflict of interest with his job as president. And they went on to say that the New York Times obtained the tax return data extending over more than 2 decades, including detailed. They got it from hundreds of companies that make up his business organization, as well as they got detailed information from his first 2 years in office. And it doesn't include his personal returns for 2018 or 2019. I don't think they'll ever go into how they. I don't know if they actually went into how they got it. Anyways, it's the one thing that was, everyone's like, my eyes are fucking glazed over. This is like one of those things where like Trump critics were like, yeah, we fucking got him. And like, this is literally just, it is a blip on the radar compared to everything else that's happened this past week. Like, this is not like, I saw your favorite person, Brian Stelter, say this is the top story of the last 5 years. Like, no one's talking about it now.
Nobody gives a fuck about it.
No one's talking about it. It's not even the top 69 stories of the last 5 years. Nice. And it's certainly something when you think of that, because everybody who is a Trump critic or part of the media elite who believe that Trump is sort of a danger to democracy, or saying that like the walls are finally closing in on him, like this is sticking. And you have to wonder, like, why is it not sticking? Oh, we got Habibi over here. Why is everyone so quiet in here? Habibi's gonna lie and he's super busy. We're literally streaming right now. You fucking asshole.
Mother. What a fucking dick. But no, look, and you're right. Like, the thing is, it was like the Maddow thing where she was trying to pump up, like, oh, I have 2015 tax returns and blah, 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 blah. We're finally going to get them and get to the bottom of this. We had these fucking pieces of shit say we're going to see Russia collusion. We're going to see all the money he owns to these foreign nations. We're going to see how he wasn't he wasn't paying any of his taxes, how he was making money off of being president. All of this bullshit, and none of it came true. Zero of it came true.
Yeah,
and
it was. Let's see. It was his 2005 tax returns.
Yeah, 2005.
And it showed that Trump had paid $38 million in taxes on income of more than $150 million for 2005. So, I mean, what is it? Is he paying? Oh, here he comes. Yes, sir. Fuck both of you. Anyways, but the $750 payment is certainly not a good look for him. But the one thing that sort of stuck out to me was Pete Buttigieg honing in on the $421 million that Trump supposedly owed money to, thinking that he owed money to foreign governments. I mean,
right.
I don't even know the validity of that claim.
It's Pete Booty Whore. And also, what I want to say about this is that it showcases in the New York Times where the money is owed. And you have what's this guy? This guy from where is he from? The NBC. He shouted out a question to Trump, and he's like, "Who do you owe this money to?" and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, he's walking. There's people shouting everywhere, and you're tweeting out like you did some heroic gesture. Read the fucking story.
Yeah,
and it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well,
hilarious.
Yashar, and before taking a little detour here, Yashar says, "Why aren't people tipping in here?"
Well, it's because you come on late, you asshole.
Yeah. There are people tipping us earlier. It says you cheap fucks come in here and get entertainment and don't tip my kings. Thank you, Habibi. You're a true daddy and king.
Thank
Truly
you.
Looking out for us. But yeah, I will say it has been pretty fascinating how this. I mean, like we're on the debates now. That is the major story. You would think that under any normal time, this tax story would be something that plays out for the entire week.
It's not going to happen. And the New York Times said, "Oh, we have more that's going to be dropping." We know exactly when these things are going to be dropping. They're going to be dropping 3 or 4 days before the next debate. That's how they're going to schedule these things to come out to draft. It's strategic because it's really good clickbait to get people reading onto the
real quick. I want to highlight this from Danielle C. She says, Yashar Ali, can you use your connections to get to Bruno Mars? It's for a kid with cancer Siraj discussed earlier. Yes, Habibi, I'll hit you up about that. That would be huge. That would be huge because obviously we're raising awareness for childhood cancer because today is the final day for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It's Isabella, I believe that's her name. We'll send you obviously more information on that, Habibi, but if you can help us, that'd be great. But back to some of the other comments. Let's see. Oh, we got Carter Scott going with the full Rex Chapman response. Tax returns, bruh. Billy Finn, it's a false claim. Trump's debtors are mostly banks. Todd Lee, 76, worst cam show ever. Habibi, free labor. That's all you fucks care about. Someone asked Yashar if this was a chatterbait. Is this chat? Thomas says, "Is this chatterbait? Like, what is chatterbait? Is that like Jay? The fuck are you doing?"
Chatterbait. I'm sorry, I'm texting Yashar. Sorry, chatterbait. What is chatterbait?
Yeah, what is chat? Well, one of the Habibis help us and talk. What the fuck is chatterbait? Anyways, Yashar says, Habibi says, "Yeah, this is chatterbait. This is Habibi bait." And then he says, tip these hookers.
It's an adult website providing live webcam performances by
Oh my God. Yeah, Yashar, he tipped 69 last week. Everyone should tip at least $6.90. Bye. That's how I hear Yashar saying bye. Bye. Hey, LB is here. To be frank, Yashar, we buy earn merch. People do buy earn merch.
Yeah.
And I have a new t-shirt on the way, which I've been designing.
And
I have
honestly, LB, your toes look great in
earn merch.
In earn merch.
Yeah. Boris Farage says, can someone show Yashar where his caps lock button is? The ringing is loud as fuck. I don't even know what that is. Oh, someone tipped us $6.90. Nice. Thank you, Rachel. How's this for a tip, you lovely souls? Thank you, Rachel. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And let's
Maybe
see.
I should show a nipple. No, I'm just
Sound it out, Siraj. It's all in the name. Chatterbait. No, I figured it had a lot to do with, actual, I get it. I understand the whole part about baiting, like, in Idiocracy, they shorten masturbate to no, not with Ernie here. How dare you?
Sorry, Ernie.
Ernie, close your eyes. Now he's licking my hand. Oh, you want it? Okay, all right, you get it. You get everything, Ernie. Everything is for you. Everything that the light touches is yours. Okay. All right. So we're an hour and a half in, and we actually might finish before 2 hours goes up. Or maybe just interact with the Habibis for the rest of the next half hour. But I wanted to highlight this story because, of course, this is just it's so classically dumb. And they came out today. Yeah, it's coming. We're talking about it during Weekly Jihad. I tried to keep everything short for Neville because I knew, most people coming on for 2 hours, hold up, phrasing. Most people joining us for 2 hours does not sound sustainable. So that's why I'm like, why don't you just join us for like 10 to 20 minutes? That sounds good, right? That way the Habibis can get a little bit of guest action and they can see the two Habibis do the thing. Right, buddy? Right. And you get earned. And everyone's happy. So everyone's happy. So while I pull that up, I'm just looking up the score here of the NBA Finals game because it looks like, oh no, it's over. The Heat apparently stormed back and then are now down by like 20. Anyways, the New York Times reported that the World Health Organization, you remember the World Health Organization, the WHO, the one that all the libs, all of Trump's critics and a bunch of progressives were defending, like, no, you can't defund the World Health Organization. Well, it was reported today by the New York Times that the World Health Organization said open borders would help fight disease. Experts and a global treaty emphatically agreed, but the scientific evidence was never behind them.
Right.
Guys, this is news to the New York Times, yet not news to everyone else who knows what the fuck's up.
Right. Because and how it all started with them too. I mean, how they kept silent for China and to make sure that China kept things open and all that stuff going.
Yeah, it makes me
know about it.
Yeah, it makes me think that everybody in the WHO basically knew what was happening in China with the coronavirus, yet almost didn't say anything because they love the gravy train of $500 million from the U.S. every year, or $400 million. Right. I don't know how much. Anyways, but let me read through a little bit of the story because it looks like this is a very long lead. Do I want to do this? Anyways,
I love hearing your voice do it.
You love hearing it? Okay, I'm just going to read it for the Habibis just so that you guys can get a frame of reference of what's going on. And they report this from Austria. So it reads, they came from across the world to ski in the most famous resorts of the Austrian Alps. Jacob Homiller and his college friends flew in from the United States. Jane Witt, a retired lecturer, arrived from London for a family reunion. Annette Garden, the youth director at a tennis club in Hamburg, was celebrating her birthday with her husband and 2 grown children. They knew in late February and early March that the coronavirus was spreading in nearby northern Italy and across the other border in Germany. But no one was alarmed. Austrian officials downplayed concerns as tourists crowded into cable cars by day and après-ski bars at night. Après-ski, obviously that means after skiing. You fucking uncultured swine. The whole world meets in Ischgl, said Miss Garten. Ischgl is that little town in Austria that they're highlighting. It's a ski town. Then they all went home, unwittingly taking the virus with them. Infected in Ischgl or in surrounding villages, thousands of skiers carried the coronavirus to more than 40 countries on 5 continents. Many of Iceland's first known cases were traced to Ischgl. In March, nearly half the cases in Norway were linked to Austrian ski holidays.
Wow.
9 months into an outbreak that has killed 1 million people worldwide, Ischgl is where the era of global tourism, made possible by cheap airfares and open borders, collided with a pandemic. For decades, as trade and travel drew the world closer, public health policy, enshrined by treaty, encouraged global mass tourism by calling for open borders, even during outbreaks. And it goes on to say that when the coronavirus emerged in China in January, the World Health Organization didn't flinch in its advice. And that advice was do not restrict travel. But what is now clear is that the policy was about politics and economics more than public health. And it goes on to say that public health records, scores of scientific studies, and interviews with more than 24 experts show the policy of unobstructed travel was never based on hard science. It was a political decision, recast as health advice, which emerged after a plague outbreak in India in the 1990s. By the time COVID-19 surfaced, it had become an article of faith. So I implore all the Habibis to go and read that because kudos, obviously, to the New York Times for reporting that, because we were just shitting on the New York Times before about their taxes, about Trump's taxes. And while that is good reporting, it is all about the perception and how everyone receives it, because while it is good for the public interest to understand how much Trump pays in taxes, it is the way the story is spun by both sides to make it look like whether it's, as good as it could possibly be or as bad as it could possibly be. This particular thing on the World Health Organization seems pretty cut and dry, that the World Health Organization is making their decisions based on politics and economics, like a lot of other things. And it sounds like they did apply this to almost every other policy. They're just talking about the 1990s in India, and it's not based on public health or science. And a few of the Habibi comments, Janice says, Dr. Tedros, who is the, I want to say the Director General of the World Health Organization. I think that's the actual title, Director General, or that he should be in jail. I don't disagree with you. Dr. Tedros is one of the worst heads of a global organization. I mean, he was the guy who fucking promoted the now late Robert Mugabe, the dictator in Zimbabwe, to like a global WHO ambassador. And he did that as Zimbabwe's public health system completely went to shit. So it was a good story. It's just, the thing is, Boris says the World Health Organization are recommending swimming in the Ebola River because what's the worst that can happen? Well, it's funny. Yeah. I mean, like, people, the thing is, and this is why the China virus narrative among people who are particularly critical of Trump thought that China virus was xenophobic and racist. Ebola, it's bacterial, I believe. No, it's either virus or bacteria. God, now I gotta look this up. Ebola virus. It's a virus. Yeah, Ebola virus. Why am I questioning whether it's flesh-eating bacteria. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But that originated, like, people were getting the Ebola virus near the Ebola River, so they just naturally named it the Ebola virus. So when it comes to coronavirus, naming it the China virus, seeing as how it came from China, Wuhan. I mean, if they were calling it the Wuhan virus before
even CNN.
It became, it was Wuhan virus before it became what was it? Before Trump started using it, and then it became racist.
Right. And the thing about this article that really paints another picture onto it is you see why people doubt experts. It's because it's a game. All of it is a game. You can get you can get experts, get them in your pocket, and they will say whatever it is you want them to say. It's happened countless times throughout the history of ever using a fucking expert for anything. You had experts in the 1920s saying that menthol cigarettes is good for your respiratory system. I mean, you have other experts talking about how sugar isn't the main cause of diabetes and weight gain. Like, you had people, scientists, people who call themselves experts and scientists coming up and saying these things. And then this is just another example for it. And people get blasted all the time for daring to doubt experts. If you doubt an expert, then you are a crazy QAnon, anti-science. Like, they throw all of these fucking kind of names at you because of it. When you have legitimate criticism to be said of it. But the reason why they don't want it is because they want to use experts as a political weapon in order to keep themselves sounding like they're the right people. And it's just sick. It's all a game, and then they play it. Science is not science anymore. Science is
politicized. It's all politicized. I mean, we saw this. We saw it also during the initial protests of in the wake of George Floyd's death, and how you had public health experts specifically named in NPR as them saying that racism is a public health crisis, and while we're in the middle of a pandemic, it is actually recommended that you go out and protest, knowing that you could possibly spread the virus to other people. It's just so fucking stupid.
It's so fucking stupid. And then they want to go and whine about rallies and shit like that when they're like,
and it's just so, I mean, like, and again, like, the thing is, I'm of the belief that everyone gathering together is causing the virus to spread. So my criticism is of people gathering in general, not just one thing or the other, but just because like I've gotten to the point where I'm just seeing reporters only say pick on a Trump rally, but not on the recreation of the Million Man March by Al Sharpton. Like, it's just fucking
rally.
It is exhausting to try to point out the hypocrisy because they just constantly do it.
Every rally, you have a snarky COVID tweet from Jake Tapper, and then zero shit to talk about when there's a huge riot or a fucking gathering or in wherever where they're just like twerking on top of each other with no masks or anything and being like, oh yeah, this is for George Floyd. It's like, fucking, it's insane. You're right. And it gets more and more. And I think Twitter has allowed people to see the hypocrisy of a lot of these people and call it out.
Yeah. A few comments. First of which is Toddy76 or Todd Lee 76 saying, "What is this fucking memory?" By Allah, behave yourself. I will give you the taste of my shoe.
By Allah, what is he? A Jew?
Or my favorite, we've discovered a new type of jihad. It's called anal jihad.
It's like if he is going through jihad and he wants to stick a bomb up his ass, is it gay?
Wait, what?
It's an actual quote. He goes on to say that he wants to perform jihad and stick a bomb up his ass. Well, is that gay?
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think so.
No, it depends. Look,
It depends.
2 fingers, not gay. More than that, gay.
Curtis got Habibi ASMR. Siraj reading news stories. Faye says this is the whitest article in relation to the WHO article. Ben Morrissey, welcome, Ben. I hope all the Habibis know Ben Morrissey is now an intern, BB. He is my first ever intern helping me with the list because I can't keep up with this shit anymore. So Ben Morrissey says the WHO is a special kind of corrupt garbage. What?
What's his at? His Twitter at?
Twitter at, I think here. I have it because I just had it.
Like a true person who hires an intern doesn't know shit about him.
No, I just want to make sure I get the number right. It's like at Ben Morrissey 16. Yeah, it's 16. I thought it was 16. So let me type that in. Habibis, go follow Ben Morrissey. I'm gonna type it into the comments there. I wanted to make the announcement on here rather than on Twitter because let's be real, I don't know Ben. Literally, just started chatting with him the other day. And
he's a listern.
He's
He's
a listern. Let's see. Todd Lee again. But what about open borders? Except that you have to go on Hajj. That is acceptable. Anyone can go for Hajj. It's open borders, Habibi.
3 million people are walking around each other in harmonious COVID action.
Yeah. Let's go. Here we go. Let's see. Yes, you could. This from Habibi Gun. Yes, you could play Siraj's voice over a Chatterbait cam show, and it would enhance the horniness. Guys, it's still no simp September for like another 15 minutes. Could you stop simping? Let's see. I'm just reading through some of the comments. Yeah. Kelly says New York Times is a broken clock. Occasionally they happen to tell the right time, if only by mistake. You know what's interesting is even though Trump hates the New York Times, he still loves them deep down. He reads them every day. They're the paper of record, even if they've gone heavily politicized and if they've done the 1619 project and won't fess up to it. Trump still always forgives them.
That blows my mind. You mentioning the 1619 project right now with all that shit that's happening. Nicole going completely
the 69 project.
Oh fuck yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah, nice.
That's my favorite
nice.
project.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ben is the listern. I'm just trying to
Man, I can't wait. Like now we're going to be able to rest up for this whole week. I mean, the only thing I'm going to do after this is probably Twitch on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then get that going.
I mean, there were more stories we wanted to cover. I mean, there was one thing I really wanted to cover, and that was the Channel 4 news story. But the thing is, it was 22 minutes long. I was going through the actual rundown, and by the time I sent it to you, it was like 69 minutes before the actual thing was going to go up, and they still hadn't eaten. So I was just like, all right, I guess I'm just going to save it for another time. Maybe I'll chat with it with talk about it with Jason Nichols on Friday on The Balance if we end up recording. But guys, I'm so fucking tired all the time. Like, this is really, I've never, the thing is, I'm involved in so many projects now, including work, that I don't have the time to even sit down and read a goddamn story.
Right.
I'm so exhausted. Anyways.
Grouped out.
Yeah. Oh, Steve says, by the way, at Siraj Hashmi, it's Ben Morrissey 16. I think you spelled it with one S. Did I? Fuck. All right. Well, let me try that again. I'm gonna find it here. Sorry, Ben. You're probably, think of the other Ben Morrissey getting all those follows.
All the baby follows.
Jesus. God, I am the worst. I am the worst boss. Yeah. Let's try that again. There we go. So you Habibis, go to @Ben with 2 R's and 2 S's and then 16. Although, Ben, if you really want to kiss up to your boss, change that 16 to 69. Nice.
Nice. That would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. Boris says, it's already October for me. I'm free to simp as much as I like. Rachel Kaplan, I see Billy left early. Ahem. Oh, man. Let's see. Anyways, let's take a few questions from the Habibis. Because honestly, if you want to tip us, leave us a tip. If you want to, hit us with a list rec, hit us. Boris says Siraj treating the intern like shit already. The power has already gone to his head. And Billy Finn's back. He's like, you son of a bitch.
Man, the Habibis are great.
God, it's so good.
Habibis are great.
Man, I'm really hoping that the rest of the year is not like this. I can't do it anymore, guys. Can't do it.
It's getting tired. What we need to do is, like, after the election's done and over with, just like a couple of weeks of just shooting the shit and just talking about random crap and playing video games.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that, we could just stop doing our jobs and just play video games all the time.
Shit. Wouldn't that be
that'd be amazing.
That would be that's the life.
Yeah. Mary, oh, thank you, Mary. We need to pray for Siraj, please. Yeah.
Yes.
Nate BB, are you moving to Habibi Power Hour next week due to the VP debate next Wednesday night? Oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, why don't we just live watch it? So you can have it.
We got to figure that shit out, because if we stream from YouTube, we could get banned.
Oh, well, what if we're watching on C-SPAN?
Let me check with our guy. I'll check with Anong, see what he thinks.
Because you got that screen over there. But on Sunday, I'm going to be getting my other computer in here with an upgraded GPU. So, in theory, we'll be able to. I'll be able to stream off of the iMac.
Worst case scenario is that we could stream on Twitch of the VP debate together, and then hop on to YouTube for Habibi Power Hour post debate VP debate wrap. And
kind of like what we did on the
what we did yesterday. And you're
we can do that.
Yeah.
Or we can watch it on YouTube, streaming ourselves watching it. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. Anyway, Steve, thank you, Steve. He says, I don't have anything to say, but Yashar makes the guilt real. Thank you for chipping in. Daniel,
can you go back to that one real quick?
Which one? Oh yeah, here, hold up. Sorry, Daniel. We'll get right to you in just a sec. Look at that. Send that to him. That's good. That's good shit. Daniel Vandermillen. Thank you, Daniel. He says, what do you guys think of Biden using an image of Kyle Rittenhouse in the video about white supremacy? I don't know what image that was, but based on what you are asking us,
it was Joe Biden.
It was in an ad.
Yeah, he tweeted out an ad, like his main account, and it was talking about white supremacists, and then it just showed that not a stock photo, but the photo of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, I mean,
and labeling him as a white supremacist.
People have been trying. Look, do I think Kyle Rittenhouse was in the right when he killed 2 people and shot another? No. We'll see what ends up happening in the legal system with his case and his attorneys arguing that it was in self-defense. Putting that aside, I haven't seen any substantive evidence to suggest that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist. I think just by the fact that he was out there with a rifle and trying to protect businesses and going against basically Antifa and people marching for Black Lives Matter and people who are rioting, that all of a sudden this guy is a white supremacist. So Biden using it, look, if I took exception with every single usage of ad or every single ad that every single candidate uses and it's fucking wrong, like I would run out of takes. Like I would be out of anger or out of energy to say why something's wrong. Of course it's wrong. Like Biden doesn't need to do that. Like he is involving himself in something that we don't have 100%
essentially
evidence of this guy being a white supremacist.
Right.
So,
And I think honestly, when it's something like that too, it's funny how Twitter isn't quick on labeling things misinformation when it comes from, because they'll label the smallest little thing on Trump's shit as misinformation. And people go and attack his ads when he's like showcasing Biden in a room all by himself or something. You know what I mean? Saying he's in the basement. They're like, oh, this is not real. This is fake. But
yeah, I mean, like that's what people. That's why people had issues with Chris Wallace during the debate, because they felt like he was like, if you're a debate moderator in that situation and you are trying to strike a balance between moving the discussion along, but also, allowing the candidates to sort of, trade barbs back and forth, and fact check. And you're doing it entirely more towards one side than the other, it starts to make the moderator look biased, of course. And so that's where Chris Wallace, I mean, no good deed goes unpunished. And whether you view Chris Wallace as one who was trying to do a good job, he ended up making himself look biased in the process. So he is, he even admitted in an interview, I think, following the
New York Times.
Following the debate, in the New York Times again on the story, that he was disappointed with how everything went, and I don't blame him. He didn't do a great job. I mean, I don't blame him for feeling that way, because I feel like he did not do a good job.
Right.
So yes, in that case, I would blame him. Anyways, Boris says, don't want to get shot, don't chase or hit someone holding a gun. It's a simple rule in life. He shot 3 white guys, worst white supremacists ever. Yeah, I feel like if he was a white supremacist, he would have targeted people of color. And he would, and I feel like if he was, I feel like the reason why the self-defense argument has any credibility is because he didn't go in indiscriminately shooting and killing people. He only shot people who were specifically attacking him. So that's where it helps him in his case. But I don't think he should have been there to begin with, and that's just
that's where the criticism of the whole of Rittenhouse as a whole is that he actually went down there.
Yeah.
Now the act of shooting him,
it was up there.
Yeah, he actually went up there. I mean, it was only 20 miles or something, but still.
Yeah, 30 minutes, but I mean, technically north.
Still, he went there, and then
I'm a stickler for that stuff.
Right. The act of self-defense is not in the wrong whatsoever, and if
it's just like he
shows that, then he should be off of that.
It comes off. The thing is, it comes off as
actually just going there.
No, the thing is, and this is the way it just came to me. This is how I think why it rubs people the wrong way. It's because he was cherry picking self-defense. You get what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
I mean, he found a way to go get himself involved in the situation where he might use his gun, and only used it when he was in a situation in which he was getting attacked. So he like specifically went out of his way to put himself in a dangerous situation. And that's what I mean by cherry picking.
Right.
I know that you don't understand English, so cherry picking is probably a new term to you.
Kazubi. Mazubi. Understand that, bitch? No.
All right.
No, I do get what you're saying, and I think you're right on that. Because he went down there armed and knows how the situation is, he was looking for something like that to happen. Yeah. And did.
Yeah. Faye, good night, Habibti. She's literally falling asleep. So have a good rest of the week. I think that's probably a good sign because we just hit the 2-hour mark. So, but before we go, David Vandermillen has one more question, and maybe it's not a question; it's just a comment. He says, "When people say up or down, it should relate to elevation, not north or south." Wow, that is literally Islamophobic.
100%, essentially.
100%. Anyways, Habibis, thank you again for joining us for another Habibi Power Hour. We hope you like the format change a little bit. We decided that we'd try it out with having Neville on for about 20 minutes. That way we can actually listen to a guest and then get to our regular shenanigans and hood rat antics.
Right.
So, Habibis, y'all be great. Hope you all have a good rest of your week. Stay safe. I am Siraj Hashmi.
I am Mujahed Kobbe.
And this has been the Habibi Bros for, it's no longer September over here. So deuces, no September. Simp away, Habibis.
No, yes, I'm going straight here to Pornhub.
I'm going to go give Ernie a treat. That's kind of a
That's
contrast,
how you're going to be
but
simple.
whatever. Okay, Habibis, deuces, peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.